Good friggin' morning from New England, folks, and welcome back to episode 25 of the So New England podcast. I am your host, Ian Brownhill, joined by my co-host and counterpart, Robert Travisano, all things life's better in New England, producer, all things that makes my life go around, Vincent Culinary. Wow. Behind the cameras on the ones and twos. Once again, folks, we have a fantastic guest for you today, and I'm super pumped. Been a little bit trying to get her down here. And now she had to suffer through the traffic that the rest of the world suffers from around this part of the world. But without further ado, RJ, please give us our introduction to our wonderful guest.
Episode 25 is here. And not only do we have a super special guest today for you, but this episode has some significance. Do you know why, Ian?
No, I do not.
Well, 25 is how much the Patriots were down before they decided to make the most historic comeback in NFL Super Bowl history to beat the not-so-hot Atlanta Falcons and win Super Bowl 51, led by our Messiah, Mr. Tom Brady himself.
Wow.
Which leads me to our guest, because
Fun
not
fact.
only does she represent the lovely city of Boston through and through, but the culture and just the way of life she embodies screams our beloved Beantown. With 350,000 followers on IG and another 230 between TikTok and YouTube. If you haven't gone to check out her content, you're missing out. Whether it's the typical day in the life of a Bostonian or enjoying some time at Gillette with her beloved Pats, today's guest, with great honor, it's my privilege to welcome Everyday Maggie to the pod.
Wow. First things first, give us one.
Wow. First of all, thank you for that lovely introduction.
Got
That
you.
was spectacular.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I'm going to play that every morning when I wake up and just like get me revved up for the day. Man, 25, you guys. Congrats.
Thank you.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
Heading into the year 25.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow. Look at that. Putting numbers together for
Fun
us.
fact, there's not a lot of quarter jokes that make saying the number 25 funny. So
Yeah.
I had to think outside the box.
Honestly, when you started doing the Patriots thing and you were like, they were down 25, I was like, oh, man. Patriots fans going to kick his ass. It was 28-3, and I was like, oh, he said down 25.
Yes.
This is why
exactly.
you went to college and I did not.
I would never know that.
Yeah. Oh, wow. I'm a salesman. That's all it is.
Love it.
I'm
As
just
long
a,
as you
just
smile.
a greasy, dirty salesman. All right, Max, there's no other way to start this episode than giving us a
No,
Hooyah.
there's no way.
Please give us one
no other
right
way.
here.
Just a second, Ian. Let me prepare my vocal cords.
Here we go.
Need to
I'm going to close my eyes and really just feel this one.
Vin, close your eyes. Not your ears, though.
Just preparing. I want to make sure this one's good. All right. Ian.
Yes.
The So New England podcast, episode number 25.
Yes.
Can I get a
Oh, yeah. Maggie.
Sorry
Holy
about that.
shit.
Amazing.
Nikes, where was
Transported
I
to another world.
When did we get on a podcast?
You're the best. Thank you so much for coming down and being with us today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Obviously, a lot of people know we've done collabs in the past of you and I. We've done stuff with Brigitte and Tommy at the deli.
Yes, we have.
You are a Bostonian through and through, as RJ said. Everyone has seen you take the internet by storm. But I'm curious, as a New Englander, how did you get here? How did you become a content creator?
Thanks for asking. So I would say I definitely never set out to be a content creator. Like I didn't really have that, like, I want to be an influencer kind of bug, because I felt, to be honest with you, when I started creating content, like, you're too old to be on TikTok or like an influencer, which we know now, as, you know, time's gone by, that that's just not true. You know, you can create content at any age and put your passion to, you know, sparking your own creativity in whichever ways that you kind of want to do that. But I basically have always just been kind of like the weirdo of the friend group, like the class clown kind of vibe. Like I was making Vines when that was a thing. It never like popped off or anything. I'll like have to look for my Vine after this. I don't even know if I have a username or anything. That might actually come back to bite me somehow. But I was really bored in my studio apartment in the North End during the pandemic, deep like maybe March of 2021. We were like really in the thick of it at that point. And, you know, I'm just like always making silly videos, sending them to my friends and family and stuff like that. And one day I posted to TikTok, completely forgot I posted it. I didn't have like push notifications or anything like that on at the time. And a few days later I had signed back in and I had noticed it had like 800,000 views or something like that. And I was like, how the fuck? But then I was also like, oh, wow, am I famous? No, but I was like, that's so cool. Maybe I can just, you know, do this when I feel like I have something that I could put out there or whatever.
Right.
And it very quickly turned into like just fueling my boredom into the creative space and having that outlet. And I was really drawn to creating content, and I was working a 9-to-5, and actually I was working a 9-to-5 all up until this summer. So it's been, you know, it was a lot of years at that job, and the pandemic was like most people, you know, dealing with Zoom and being stuck in your living space and all that 24/7, like it was just an odd time. So having that sort of creative outlet and an ability to connect with other people, you know, across New England and just create content that celebrates New England and the place I love so much and, you know, have lived forever. It's just been really kind of fun to see how it's evolved. But I wouldn't say that I was like setting out to do this. If you asked me in college, like, what's your dream job? I would have said like SNL, but there was always that bug in the back of my head that was like, you'll never do it. Kind of thing, like doubt, anxiety. Like, but anyway, it's just, it's kind of cool that obviously I'm not on SNL, but I am able to create funny videos and just
no air quotes,
have that
funny
kind
videos
of, outlet. So it's been fun.
It's so funny because our relationship over the last few years has blossomed, and I can call you a friend, but it is often that, you know, it's always like, you know, funny. I'm like, you're funny. The numbers speak for themselves. And, you know, even when we were, you know, you mentioned that you were working a 9-to-5, I remembe encouraging you like, hey girl, I think you can do this full time.
Oh,
so,
Ian
you know,
literally for years was like, I think you can do it. And I was like, no, I can't, you idiot. Like, he's like, don't talk about my friend that way. I love when Ian says that. That's one of my favorite things.
That's where I get it from right there. He says it to me. I passed it along.
That's really sweet.
Anytime I say
this in an arrogant way, but I created this man.
I love that so much. No, I literally like, you know, because Ian and I have been to a ton of events and things together, and we'll like help each other get content. And I'll be like, damn, my thighs be looking thick in that angle. And he's like, Maggie, don't say that about my friend. There's, you know, a million other things.
It's a good
trying to encourage people. That's how
I
he
do
does it.
love that. That's a good one.
It is a good one. Credit to RJ for that one for sure.
Yeah, you guys put out a lot, and it might not only be just about yourself, but it's still you guys, and you need that confidence to keep doing it. It's not easy to post videos. I mean, we joke about it all the time. I joke that I'm in TikTok jail because I'm not super popular just yet, but I like making the videos. It's fun, but it did take me, because you know, he's been doing this now 4 years, and it's like I could have started it when he did, but I was just like, I don't think I'm handsome, I don't think I'm pretty, I can't do that, I don't have hair, blah blah blah. It's like, just do it.
It's
Who
crazy
cares?
how like self-doubt will just get in the way of you doing things that you're excited or passionate about.
Right.
I've been seeing this a lot lately, and for content creators and people putting themselves out there, you know, whatever capacity it is, whether you're like on camera, off camera, in your job, day to day, whatever it is, it's like there are going to be moments where you have to just like lean into the cringe, like put yourself out there. You're gonna kind of like stumble a little along the way, but it makes you human. You know what I mean? Like no one's perfect. You know, with the rise of AI, we need to preserve humanity.
That's right.
I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
I love the change of voice there, which is so funny because I think this
spectrum of voice,
well,
as you know.
it kind of, but it strings along the fact that you have versatility, not only in your content, but all of the artwork that you're kind of putting out there. And that's what kind of leads me to wonder, where do you pull inspiration from? And what kind of humor do you like the most for yourself? Like when it comes to movies, you said SNL, like what kind of humor gets you going?
So like my all-time favorite movie where I would laugh out loud every single time would be Bridesmaids.
Oh,
Great
so
movie.
good.
Wig is like probably one of my all-time
Help me, I'm poor.
literally, like my favorite inspiration. She's so funny and just like does not take herself too seriously. I just really respect when people are just like authentic and put themselves out there. But yeah, no, I love Kristen Wiig, Adam Sandler movies growing up, like Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, Caddyshack. Like just, I love Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Let's see, who else do I get inspiration from? Ian Brownhill, obviously.
Oh my God, who's that guy?
What?
Literally wake up every morning and
Look
I go
him
to
up.
Ian's page because he's usually posted by the time I wake up. So I'm like, what is Ian doing today? No, but I think naturally, like living in New England, we get inspiration from just like each other and the surroundings and like the stuff that's going on. Like on the way here, I had no plans of like recording a silly road sign, but I saw it and I was like, I feel like a million people just drive by that are like, okay, but my brain picks, like,
Yeah.
I feel like you're like this too. And a lot of creatives are like this, but you see something and I feel like I've always like looked at things in a different way, like in a, like take a funny spin on it, even if it's like super serious and like could get me in like a little bit of trouble. I feel like I'm always just like playing out like, what if this happened, or what if he slipped on a banana peel, or what, like, you know, like that kind of like just like silly, like in my own world kind of mentality.
Well, that's where it's got to come from, because like a lot of the things, one of the things that I like to always say is like the concept of like copying somebody, unless you do exactly what that person did verbatim and like almost the same scenario, same scene, you just drew inspiration, because there's so much content. You can't tell me you're the very first and only person to ever do that video.
Right.
Like for example, The Real Housewives of Boston is like a video idea that I had just like randomly myself, being a Housewives Bravo fan and creating content in Boston and knowing that we didn't have that series, and was like, oh, that could be fun. And then when I did that for the first time, it was probably in like 2021, and I got a bunch of comments that were like, oh, you should check out the YouTube series Real Housewives of Boston, or Real Housewives of South Boston, I think is what it was. And I was like, oh shoot, I didn't even know that was a thing. I hope these people don't think I'm copying them. But like, I do think that earlier in the days of like TikTok and Instagram Reels and all that stuff popping off, there was a little bit more, I mean, some people are so sensitive, but there was a little bit more of that, like, that was my idea, or you copied me first. But I think people have grown to realize that that's like how trends start, and how
100%.
like, you know, if someone uses your original audio and makes a video with it, you know, are you gonna be mad about it, or are you gonna be like, oh, that's cool, like,
Right.
Right.
Should
that's
take that
my
as a
audio
compliment.
out there. Yeah, exactly. So I think that's just also just like growing and maturing as you're creating, and like you just experience it more. And you know, people will say like, oh, well, I do like these types of videos and that's my space. And it's like, it's all our space. We
Right.
live in New England, baby. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
like
Right.
we're all the
100%.
founding fathers, bitch.
There's your clip for
There
you.
you go.
I meant to ask you, what was the video that did the 800,000? Your first video? Is it the one where you're shoveling snow that
No.
Tom fucking Brady himself
Dude,
commented?
I literally would love to.
Did
get
you know that
into
Tom Brady commented on our page?
I have it.
I think
pinned.
we've talked about it.
We have
before,
talked about it,
honestly.
honestly. Yeah.
I'll pull it up and show you, because it's literally the best thing that's
Yeah,
ever
yeah. I
happened in
haven't
my
seen
life.
it. I'd like to see.
I can also tell you about like where I was when it was crazy, like literally craziest thing that's ever happened in my life.
That's so cool.
Sorry, what did you ask me right
Your
before?
first video.
It was how you talk to coworkers versus family members.
Oh, yes. Okay.
I
Yep.
was
I remember
like-
that.
I was like, hey, Susan, like, sounds great. And then I was like, Mom, I'm on a call, blah, blah, blah. Like something like that. Just
Right,
like
the
super
duality.
relatable at the time, like
Yeah.
where like people were living. Sorry, did I scream too loud?
No, he was doing. No, he was doing
Like-
stuff with his hands.
I thought
we
he was-
all
I
just
thought
went
he
like
was
this.
flagging us down.
Me too.
What happened?
No. Yeah, so that was a video. I'll have to send it to Vince so that he can maybe
Yeah.
splice it in.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that was fun. And at first, when I started making content, it was actually a lot more like corporate humor stuff. Maybe like 3 or 4 months into creating content, I did a video of like, tell me you live in Boston without telling me. And it was just a montage of like people screaming outside my window. Cause like, even before I started creating content, if that was happening, I would always record it on my phone. Just because I'd be like, oh my God, Dad, like, look at this. He just like gets a kick out of it. My dad's also like my best friend, just saying.
Oh, that's cute. I
yeah.
love that. Good for you.
Yeah. So if he listens to this, love you, Dad.
We'll send it to him specifically.
Yeah. But yeah, that's how sort of my creating content about Boston evolved a little bit more, just like living there and experiencing the culture and loving the sports. And like Bostonians are, as you guys know, just like a different breed. So just getting kind of like capturing that, I guess. And it evolved more into just like from Massachusetts stuff to New England in general, and a lot of weather stuff. So I actually used to work at a local news station in Boston, like in the newsroom. I used to think I wanted to be a news reporter until I did that, and I realized how dark it was, and how like I would go home at night and be like, oh, I just learned about literally all the horrible things that are going on in my community today. It became a lot, and I think I was like, if I ever do something on camera, maybe I would just try to make it like a little more me, or like a little more silly. Like the news just felt like a little bit too serious for me. Anyway, I'll tell you about that after, but like went into kind of more like a promotion stuff and event planning and all of that and marketing. But I absolutely love weather and like meteorology. And before I started creating any type of content, I actually used to have like a private Instagram account that I would post to my friends and family all the time, like on the roof deck of my apartment or wherever, just like in the rain, in the snow, reporting on the weather. And I would call myself like a faux meteorologist, because I was obviously not. I didn't have any credentials, but I would act like it in like my news voice and stuff. So when I started creating content, all my friends were like, how are you going to get like faux back in there and like the weather stuff? So it's been fun to be able to like bring that in.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
I love
Sorry,
that.
I evolved so far off base, and we still have to talk about Tom Brady.
No,
We'll
this
put a
is,
pin in that.
but it's perfect, because as you're kind of going over how you got into content, the type of people that have inspired you, the type of comedy that you consume, and then your success and your background and how you got here, it's actually a really good note to the versatility in your content, because
Thank you.
the authenticity that comes across is one of my favorite aspects of what you do, because you can tell it's not to say that you aren't. For example, my stuff isn't necessarily scripted, but I go into it with this idea that I need to have a beginning, middle, and end to what I'm going to say and where I'm going to go. And that kind of comes across in the content, because if you have been following me consistently, as I start one of my rants, you kind of know where it's going, and you kind of know where I'm going to end up finishing. Whereas with yours, you're in the moment. And that is an ode to the fact that whatever that moment is, which is sometimes weather, sometimes it's when you're on the plane, sometimes it's when you're walking around Boston, or you're at a concert, or you're doing the Real Housewives of Boston. So you're kind of creating a wheelhouse of different versatile content stuff that also comes across incredibly authentic. And it's cool because as I'm learning about the people that inspire, I'm like, now Kristen Wiig and you, that makes total sense. And like your humor with like Adam Sandler, I'm like, that makes total sense for why she does these type of bits.
Shampoo is better. Conditioner is better. Yeah.
Please place together
Ian,
the clip of
so
him
nice.
doing that. That's so good.
That's so nice. But honestly, I feel like that about you. Like I do think your content has like a beginning, middle, and end, but I think that brings a lot more value. Like it takes a lot more time and effort, I feel like, to produce what you do, and you do such a good job with it, with all of like your outfit changes and your different characters, and like, yes, maybe people won't know necessarily how mine will end. Usually running away, that's become a thing. Maybe we could like splice together some of those like me running away comment videos. But I think your content's so versatile, from the millennial stuff to like the Rhode Island characters to the Massachusetts, like kind of, I feel like you straddle the line and do sort of different levels of
Yeah.
the thick New Englander. There's like the Rhode Island guy, but then you also have like that Bostonian kind of like masshole sports guy.
Right.
And I mean, you have like the cosplay stuff too, and you're into fashion and acting, and you're on book talk, and like you do
Also
weather
known
stuff
as sexy
too.
mom talk.
Yeah, like you've got a really big wheel of stuff too. So
Well, thank you very much.
We're
But
gonna
this
have a
episode is
podcast
about
of me
you.
and you, and we're going to talk about people because that was great.
Yeah, that was great.
Talking
That,
about
I
my
really
boy.
do
I'm
appreciate
getting
that. Thank
flustered over
you.
here.
it's true.
But I think it was more that I was just outside of trying to compliment you. It was more just to kind of highlight just the backstory about how you are, where you are in your career, and kind of how you've gotten there. And I just think it's really cool when you're able to kind of connect the dots. Because, like I said, we've known each other for a while and we are friends, but we never have the opportunity to have these deep conversations because
Totally.
usually it's like we're somewhere where we have to be on and we have to
Yes.
be networking or getting ready to make videos or coming up with ideas, or
Yep.
it's incredibly loud, so it's hard to do anything.
Most of the time, wherever we are, it's going to be loud.
Now, what kind of content do you consume? Do you watch a lot of other creators, or you kind of like make my videos and I put the phone down?
No, I spend a lot of time scrolling.
Doom
It's
scroll,
actually
baby.
Not good. My screen time is unhealthy, I would say.
Ooh, I just got mine. What was yours?
How do you check? I'm actually so
Let's
scared
compare
to look.
screen times.
Let's
This
do
would
it.
be a good place to put the Iggy's at.
That was so perfect. How do you look at that?
I'll just get mine out there.
If you just go to your like settings, and then in the top just search screen time.
Okay.
Yep. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Oh, I'm so scared.
As of today.
Oh, there it is. 2 words. Oof.
All right, what are you at?
Eek. You know that sound that's like, ooh.
Yeah.
Oi. Oi. I feel like mine's going to be the oi of the three of us. My daily average is 8 hours and 35 minutes.
Oh, okay. I'm down 21% from last week at 7 hours and 20 minutes.
Okay.
Where'd you get the
So I'm about 8 hours.
I'm up
A day.
9% from last week, but I was on vacation last week, so that's a good thing for
Yes.
me. But I was like deplugging a little.
Yeah, there you go. You deplugged 9%.
Although I did post a lot when I was on
did.
vacation.
The snowing in the Turks and Caicos.
I was going to
Like
say,
snow. Did it
so
not?
It did look like snow.
it did.
It did.
That's
It was rain.
I watched it long enough to be
What
like,
was your screen time? Like 2 hours?
No, it was like 4 or 5. I couldn't find it. I'm not going to lie. I don't know.
I told you how to do it.
Do you
wasn't
work
that-
a 9 to 5?
It's more like 6 to 2:30, but yeah.
So like you can't really be like on your phone a ton during that time, right?
No, yeah. And what I do when I don't work from
What do you
home-
do?
I can't talk about it.
Damn it.
What I do,
I try and get mine.
I'm not where I work at work. I'm not allowed to even have my phone.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, so I feel like with what we do,
right.
you kind of have to be on your phone, whether you're
100%.
like
Right.
recording or responding to emails or uploading. By the way, we can probably get into this a little later of like what's it like being a content creator, because I know you've started to do a little bit of that, which I really like. But like not to be like, my life is hard, but the amount of emails and like contracts and just like back and forth admin work that it is,
Yeah.
it's a lot. Like a lot. Like I feel like I could sit there for 4 hours and
Yeah.
respond to emails and still not be done.
It took me a while as his friend to learn that the hard way, because I was always, put your phone down. We're golfing. Put
my
your phone
gosh,
down. Just
yeah.
put it down. Just put your phone down. Just hang out. We're all
Always
here. Let's
on
be
it. I feel
present.
like it's bad.
The
Yeah,
go-to
and
joke
then-
is, he's working.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what my
And
friend,
then it
when we go out to
became-
eat or we play
yeah.
golf, he's always, he's on his phone. He's working.
Being present is definitely something that I'm working on.
Yeah.
'Cause anytime
It's
I
hard
see
though,
something
like you
cool,
said.
my gut reaction is to bring out
Yeah.
my phone and record it. Like
Yeah.
I was in Turks and Caicos last week, which never been. Highly recommend. It's a 3-hour direct flight from Logan. I was shocked. Cheaper to fly there than Florida. Just saying.
All right.
Little plug for Turks and Caicos. It was a lovely time. But while there, I went on a little like boat cruise thing, a little snorkeling adventure. And the entire, like, I was looking at my camera roll. There was like 80 videos of like the water and the boat and the moving. And I'm just like, I'm not going to do, what am I going to do with all these? Like, but I was just the whole time compelled. And I got to work on that.
In his defense, I learned that the hard way. It took me probably like a good year to figure that out. It's just like we make the jokes and it's wholeheartedly in good fun.
Yeah.
Because at some point you realize, like, what if someone was sitting there while you were doing your 9-to-5 job?
Right.
What are you doing? Are you working? What are you doing?
Yeah.
You gonna send that email? You want to talk? It's like, it's kind of how it is, just the opposite. Like, yes, we're out and he's a content creator. He's answering emails, replying to messages, doing whatever he's got to do. But it's your guys' job.
Yeah.
And which means, round of applause for you, full time now.
Oh, thanks.
We didn't do that before.
Oh, I did that. I did that in
sorry.
person
Ian
when I
was
first
probably
found
one of
out.
the
Oh, well,
first
yeah.
people
I've been
that I
encouraging her
told.
forever, so.
Well,
I was like,
congratulations.
"Yo, Ian,
That's a big step.
Thank you.
Yeah, good for you.
It's kind of terrifying. I still think of it as temporary just because I feel like that's just my mindset to like cope with anxiety, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's been awesome. And I've been so busy that I'm like, gee, I don't know how I was. Doing both for a lot of years did start to kind of, I feel like I wasn't doing anything very well. Like I felt like I was kind of half at my job, half in the content, just like running around with a chicken with my head cut off, kind of. And it's definitely been nice to have the ability to like really slow down and focus on what I really love doing. I'm like so grateful that I am doing this full time now. But I also thankfully have a lot of years experience in marketing and the corporate world and event planning and doing all sorts of different things. I was like working, including internships stuff for like, I don't know, like 8 to 10 years or something like that. So I have good experience that I think depending on where this whole content world goes, I could maybe parlay it into, who knows, something down the line, like
Absolutely.
a creative director, or, you know, actually what my dream job would be. Oh, can we tag TD Garden?
Yeah.
Want to know what my dream job would be?
What's that?
Being like one of those people at the sporting events that's like interacting with fans and is like, these people are gonna like choose which puck is going this. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I just did
Like what
the
Fitzy
worst.
does at Gillette?
I just did like the worst. I just did the worst interview.
It's okay. It wasn't an audition. You're fine.
The audition is the word I was looking for. Maybe I could try again in a little bit. But that would be like my dream job, truly. Something like
You'd
that.
be great at
or
that.
Like
You'd be awesome at that.
Sports report, like something like that. Would
Yeah.
be really, really cool.
That I could totally see you doing something like that.
100%.
Thanks.
And that's
You have
often
the
the conversation that a
personality
lot
for
of
sure.
creators are having is how do we spin this off into a future career? How long
Yeah.
does something like this last? I think that's the
You've
millennial
done
mindset.
such a good job with like your merch store. Shout out Life's Better in New England.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Well,
But like truly,
Thanks.
like that's I've seen a lot of comments recently. Sorry, not this is like you're gonna be annoyed, but me tooting your horn. But like I have seen a lot of comments lately. They're like, "Where'd you get that sweatshirt?"
yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
I've had a few people approach me about them too, because I wear them as much as I can.
This is
That's
my
really
walking
cool.
billboard right here. This is the first time
This
I've
is the
ever
first-
seen him
yeah.
not wear one of my hoodies on the show. So
really
I had to
cool.
wear the hat because I almost didn't bring a hat. It wasn't gonna match. Period. But I was like, no, I got to.
Yeah.
Well,
fair.
I might pick your brain because I have some ideas, but I
Whatever.
just don't even know where to start.
whatever, whenever. You know that.
It's gonna cost you time. Just kidding. He would never. I would
Yeah,
never.
So you
allow
kind
it.
of led me into my next conversation piece, which is about the duality of coming from a marketing background, which I knew, up to what you're doing now, and kind of, I guess, how you were able to go from one side of marketing into the other side. So basically it's back of house to front of house, and what that transition was like, and now kind of how you juggled both of them.
Yeah. So my role at my previous job, I was there for almost 7 years. And I kind of bounced around. I started more in like the event planning space. And so a lot more of like experiential marketing. And then that kind of transitioned a little bit into more of like going to conferences and setting up like a client advisory board for our company and like getting our, clients and roundtable events and like, white glove and like wine and dine and schmooze them and like all that kind of stuff. Then transitioned a little bit more into like B2B marketing, and they had me running, once they found out that I could do content, they had me running their LinkedIn, and they're like, you can do social media, you must run LinkedIn. And I was like, it's a lot different what I'm doing on social. But yeah, I did do that for a while. And I think honestly, I'm grateful for the experience because now when I am speaking to different brands and working with them, I kind of have that knowledge of like maybe what their stakeholders are saying or breathing down their neck, or like I ask a lot of questions of like, what kind of goals are you trying to achieve? And like a little bit get to like why they're creating the brief, as opposed to just answering it and providing creatives. Like that will come and I will do that obviously. But I think like having a little bit of that like business mindset or marketing mindset or having that hat allows me to maybe like empathize a little bit with where they're coming from too. And like how annoying it can be dealing with clients. And like now I'm like the client, and when they're like, hey, following up on this, I'm like, oh man, shoot.
Yeah.
Like I know what that's like to have to like chase people down for things. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's just been like a really cool way to connect both worlds.
Absolutely.
That's really cool. I never, I was always kind of curious because when I approached my content, it was always a business strategy for me.
Yeah.
As much as I love making content and I have like this knack and interest to be an entertainer and all that jazz, like from the get-go, I always saw this as an opportunity for me to have business. So every conversation I have when I network, when I meet people, has always intended to be like, how can I earn their business?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a little bit of the banking sales stuff,
But
training
that's
I went
good.
through,
Like,
but
that's good.
it just like,
It's a good
I
mentality.
was going to say, in the way you said it too, earn their business. It's not like you're like, well, give it to me because
Right.
of who I am.
Right.
You
Right.
do it right.
and that's like when
Yeah.
I had found out you were in marketing, I was like, wow, I wonder, man, she must have like a real like insider knowledge of exactly how to win these people over. I'm so curious what that's like. So
Probably not necessarily like an insider knowledge, but because I think like a lot of these agencies really are the ones that we're dealing with when we
Right.
are working with brands. I don't like people, are curious and how those brand situations work. Like it's very rare that you're hearing or working directly with the brand. So I don't know. I don't think there's a secret sauce necessarily to working with the agencies because they can be tricky sometimes. No disrespect, but it's hard work. But you're doing great. You're crushing it. Also, like, can I get that sound drop for a sec?
Which one?
The first one. Yeah. I just want to call out Ian, my boy, because he has grown literally 70,000 followers on Instagram in the last month,
Yeah.
2 months.
yeah, last month, I don't know what happened. My Instagram just kind of took off.
So freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Like that's so sick. Like
Yeah. Thank you.
very huge congrats there.
But you know how it is when you're a creator. The numbers start to not matter as much because
Yeah.
I'm trying to make a living off of this.
Right.
So I'm just like, great. Now it's almost stressful because like now I have a bigger audience and I know why they're here. It's because of these last 5 videos. So now I have to make sure I entertain those people and keep them.
Yeah.
And I have the retention, and maybe that's the scarcity millennial mindset where I'm like, now I got more work to do, but I'm also like, okay, I love the numbers. This is great, but how can I keep this train going
for
downhill?
sure.
And
I
it's-
think that's like being your own boss and
Right.
like running your own business too. Like anyone who's doing that, they don't stop to celebrate the wins and the successes because you don't have a team of people or a bunch of like investors like keeping your train moving. Like you are keeping your train moving.
Right.
So if you wake up one day and are like, I don't want to make content today.
Right.
And you're like, I don't want to answer any emails. Then you might wake up the next day and be like, oh, I'm behind now. Like you don't have like team members to pick up the slack and stuff. So I understand your mentality of like, okay, I've got them now. I need to like do more and more and more. But I think you definitely were the one that told me when I started doing this and investing more time in it, like you've got to stop and celebrate where you are and the like the big win, the little wins, whatever, because
little wins, big
I
wins,
think
whatever. They're all wins.
it's like very easy to just be like, whatever. And then like obsess over what the next thing's going to be. And
Right.
I don't think that's always the best way to go about
Definitely
it.
not the best mindset to have. There's no doubt about it. I try not to do that too much, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
This is a tough world to live in. But
It is.
Yeah.
do you have a favorite type of content to make? For yourself personally, like one that brings you like the most joy? Like for me, I love doing my millennial dancing. I
Yeah,
love
you're
dancing.
so
I
good
love
at
the
it.
music. Like that makes me feel the most alive. And then I always like doing the New England stuff, but you know, I also try not to run that tap dry, so I don't do it as much as I used to or as often because I don't want people to be like, oh boy, same redundant shit, Ian.
No, I get.
So I kind of have to like wait for things to happen around me so that there's a story to it.
totally get that.
So I do love doing those, but
I struggle with that because sometimes I'm like, oh, man, I'm doing the same thing again. But I would say my favorite type of content to make is definitely like when we have a big snowstorm or like crazy like waves or awesome weather event going on. It's just like that. Like I love that. Oh, like I just literally love when there's like inclement weather.
Yeah. I love when there's a chance of a giant storm.
Literally
for us.
love when there's like you wake up and it's just like a shit show outside. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, love it. So I love making weather content. That's probably my number one. I also really enjoy, although the build up to it is very like anxiety provoking, but like the pranks running around the North End, just, you know, telling people the British are coming.
They're coming.
You know,
They're
doing
coming.
like the fake arguments with our friend C Money.
Oh, yeah.
We're not dating, by the way. Just friends. But yeah, like that stuff is just so fun because I feel like it is a little bit unique and you won't catch like every gal doing that, I guess, on the internet. People are like, oh, what kind of content do you make? And I'm like cringe comedy. They're like, what's that? I'm like, just like check out my page.
Yeah.
You'll learn quick. But yeah, I love just like getting a reaction out of people, honestly. Just the Hooyah thing, it's drawn out at this point. It's just, honestly, I do it like for the reaction of people to be like, this is a like 50-year-old trend. It's not funny anymore. And whatever. It's just, it is what it is. It's like silly at this point. But
how about creating content in Boston specific? Because obviously, you know, I'm a Rhode Islander. I do my accent. I get so much shit from people about my accent because it's just
like
Boston. It's not all of
characters,
New
though.
England. Yeah, I mean, of course, most of the people, I mean, here's the thing. I often highlight the negative. I have a lot of people who love it and they think it's
yeah,
great. So
for
I'm
sure.
grateful for them.
yeah.
But, you know,
Haters, I'm a motivators.
I love
We're
that
gonna be wrapping
I
up,
love, I was going to say, I love that you keep talking. All of your quotes are always
We're
in
gonna.
some sort of
Yeah.
synchronized singing.
I feel like that's the millennial in me.
Yeah. Stank face.
Hey.
So I guess my question really is what is it like being a creator in Boston? Because, you know, being from Rhode Island, it's a little bit smaller, a little bit easier. I don't have a demographic that is as difficult to win over.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a little bit easier for me. There are quite a few Rhode Island creators, but no one really doing what I'm doing. So I'm kind of in a world of my own when it comes to the style of content that I make.
Yeah.
And because of that, I've made friends with all the Rhode Islanders here that make content for the most part. There are a few that I'm still kind of, you know, haven't had a chance to work with or met personally, but Boston's a very different world.
Yeah.
There are hundreds of food creators, hundreds of comedy creators. Like, so what has it been like for you being from Boston, doing everything in the Boston area?
So I feel like, first of all, I love collaborating with other creators like in the New England or Boston area. I just think it's so fun. Like if we're both doing it, to have those kind of like crossovers, like the people are like, oh wait, I follow you. Like that's so cool to see you guys doing something together. Like those are always super fun. I think naturally, like maybe Boston is a little bit tougher to win people over for sure. But I think that in creating content in general, you sort of know that like you're definitely going to have like half the people or more than half the people just like for those videos that like really, really pop off. Like sometimes those are just like because there's like controversy brewing in the comments. You know what I mean? So like I think if you are going to be creating content, you kind of do have to have like a little bit of a thicker skin. Of course, there are, you know, days where I'll see like a comment or a message and I'll be like, oh, it kind of made me a little sad. But like, you know, at the end of the day, like I really do just try to like brush it off as much as I can because anytime I make a negative comment about something or a situation, like it's usually coming from a place of like, envy or unhappiness about something in my own situation or whatever. So it's like what you have to think of, like what motivates people to like make a negative comment or go out of their way to send you a message. It's like that's like healing some sort of weird thing in them. So it's like if that's what you got to do to like feel better about yourself, like that's fine. I like, you know how it goes.
Get you. Yeah.
But yeah, like I also like I'm so grateful because I do get a ton of positive comments and love. Like Boston is so small, and I think with the way the algorithms work, it's just like so geo-targeted. So like I do find, as I'm sure you've dealt with, like going to like Gillette or TD Garden or like sometimes even like the grocery store or something, and people be like, oh, like I was in customs the other day and this guy was like, I want to ask you for a Hooyah, but I don't want to get you in trouble. Like just like stuff like that. And like, yeah. So like, it's cool, I guess, to be able to connect with people in the community who have seen my content. Thankfully, no one yet has come up to me be like, you suck. Yeah. Like I think they like, just hide behind
a lot more likely to happen in Boston anywhere, any other city that I could think of.
For sure. But yeah, I don't know. I think just like it's what makes Boston, you know? Like just
you gotta love it for what it is.
Like, do you shitting on you and shitting on each other?
Do you feel like once you've won them over though, that they're loyal and you've won them over for real because of how and I'm not using this word right, and I'm not using it in a negative way, but like I feel like Bostonians are like self-righteous. Like Boston is like
that is the perfect way to say it.
Okay.
Bostonians are very self-righteous.
Yeah, but like I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean it in a compliment.
But they're
like,
prideful.
Prideful, yeah.
Prideful.
For
so
sure.
like
in a self-righteous way.
When you win those people over, you know that they're going to be that loyal following that when they go on TikTok, they hope they see your video, or when they see your video, you know they're going to watch it.
Well, I know for sure that like anyone who I've like maybe won over in Boston, like they know that like I don't know them jack shit.
Right.
you know, like they'll, I have definitely gotten people that are like, I love watching your videos every day. You make me smile. You make me laugh. But I've also had people be like, oh, I've been following you for a while. And like more recently, your content's been like getting really shitty. Like, I feel like, you're never going to win everybody over.
Yeah.
And if you do, like, you could post something that makes them like flip flop or be like, oh, this is getting old or this is getting annoying or whatever it is. But I think that's just part of it. I also think like, I don't know. We'll talk more about this offline, but I want to do more than just like New England videos and weather stuff. Like, I feel like you've developed a big,
slowly
like, branched out and like are doing more like millennial stuff and more just like generic comedy. And I think that that's like definitely going to be my goal going into the next year, is just doing a little bit more of like things that are relatable outside the region, but never losing my like New England, roots, and like always going to have New England be a focus of my content for sure.
Well, like you said, they're loyal. So they'll, your loyal followers will come with you wherever you go.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Hell yeah.
Good friggin' morning from New England, folks. This episode of the So New England podcast is brought to you by Iggy's RI.
Iggy's RI serves their award-winning clam cakes, chowder, doughboys, and more at two beautiful locations, one in Narragansett and one in Warwick, Rhode Island.
If you're visiting the Oakland Beach location, don't forget, Iggy's Boardwalk is a full-service restaurant. They also have Iggy's Creamery. But in case you missed a taste of home, don't forget, Iggy's RI ships worldwide on Goldbelly, right to your front door.
Iggy's also offers catering for your next event, as well as their very own food truck, bringing their Rhode Island tradition directly to you.
For more questions, visit iggy'sri.com. And remember, folks, it's always summer at Iggy's. Okay, let's dive in a little bit more into the New England nitty-gritty.
If you could bring any legendary Boston player to play now, who would you bring?
Who would you bring back into the Boston sports world to continue playing?
Yeah, have another run.
Like with what we're doing now, where we're at with sports.
Just throw him on the team.
Well, since he appears in my dream at least once a month, I would have to go with Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love him so much, and he is I think the best thing to ever happen to the Patriots.
The world.
the world. I could
My
cry.
life. I'm sorry,
I
our
love him
lives.
so
He is a
much.
god.
Going to his ceremony at Gillette this
Wasn't
summer
it
was like
magical?
the highlight
That's
of
where
my
we met.
life. Yes, it was.
That was the number one part why I had so much fun. The second part was Tom.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
so much fun. I mean, literally that moment when Jay-Z came out
Yup.
and it was like, allow me to reintroduce myself. And then
Yes.
Tom walked up. I was like, my whole body, like,
Yeah.
just like, I was quaking in my boots.
Yeah.
that was crazy.
But I love him so much. That's an easy answer.
Yeah.
Although I love all the like legendary.
It's hard not
icons
to
that you
because I feel like being
suggested.
from the area when we like those players that we've named or some of the ones that I didn't get to name, they truly were such an impact on not just the sports world,
Yeah,
but the community up here as well.
right.
for sure. Like Tom Brady. Ian, do you want to tell them what he did to me one time?
I think this is a story for you to tell. Also because I'm not remembering what you're referring to.
Sorry, I was just referring to the.
Oh, the comment.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I honestly, we can talk about it.
I feel like it was. His
I'm
social
very
media
jealous.
team. Don't tell me it was his social media team.
No, it was Tom.
It was definitely
Tom runs his own social media.
I don't
Didn't you
think-
see that when he found out that his, ex-wife is already pregnant with another kid, and he put that on his story.
Yep.
That song.
The absolute
Yeah, that was sad.
audacity.
That
so
was
fucking
really
sad.
sad.
I don't
I am
hate
so sad
anybody
for-
in the world, but I do now.
Yeah.
One person is on that list.
I know.
I mean, I know there's two sides to every story.
Not-
So, like,
nope.
she might have her reasons, but guess what? I don't care what they are, and I don't
Yeah.
want to hear your side.
I know.
My
That's
poor Tom.
definitely a bummer. He's definitely hurt.
I mean, come
but,
on.
like, he'll be
Seriously,
all right.
the guy's worth $1 billion. He has hundreds of millions. He's won 7 Super Bowls. Like, God,
Yeah.
give him a chance.
Yeah. Oh man, Giselle definitely wanted more quality time. I bet that's what her love language is.
Yeah.
QT.
But my
Sure.
love language is Tom Brady. So I'll just show you like really quick. I turn the volume down so you don't have to hear the song on repeat. But oh jeez. He commented. It was in 2022. I think it was a February night.
Yes. So for everybody who's listening, the comment is from February 2nd. Sorry,
Great day.
that's not
Best
true.
day of my life. Is that
February
Groundhog Day?
24th.
Oh,
what am I
jeez.
saying?
Whoops.
I got the 2 part wrong. If I come help shovel out this weekend, is everything forgiven? Nice hat, by the way. Wow. And it's Tom in his beautiful self. Wow, that got a lot of likes too.
So the video.
You've seen it. Yeah, you've seen
Yeah,
it.
I've seen it.
I was outside. Actually, you've done this too, but like I was outside in the snow shoveling in my shorts, and I was decked out in like a Brady hat.
Love it.
And it was right
Love it.
after he had left to go play. I think it was like he was already playing for the Bucks or he had left New England, but I was like bummed out on it.
Of course.
And it was like all I have is TB12 or Brady gear, and he's like fucking traitor. It's like what I said. So he was like, if I come help shovel out, which is like what I was doing, he's
Yeah.
like, is all forgiven. Nice hat, BTW. And I was just like,
Yeah.
literally like
I'm getting that.
I
would
couldn't
get that-
even. Oh my god! When I saw it, I didn't see it right away. I saw it like a few days later. I was like, I was freaking out.
I wouldn't know what to do.
I'd
yeah.
cry. I'd cry. I'd cry for you.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was definitely the best thing that's ever happened in my life.
Now, you said you spent some time in Rhode Island.
Yeah.
What
Love
have you
Rhode
What have you
Island.
done in Rhode Island? Like, what have you experienced? Have you enjoyed some of our scenery, some of
Yeah.
our foods? What have you gotten into?
So I actually have spent almost every summer. I'll come to Newport at least for like one weekend.
Oh, so then you've never been to Rhode Island?
Yeah.
I
This
know
is your
you don't
first
like
time to Rhode
Newport.
Island. Yeah,
I have been to
Not that we don't
Providence.
like
Okay.
it.
I've been
Oh.
to Tiverton.
it is.
Is
It is that we
Tiverton
don't like
a
it.
vibe?
Oh, yeah.
I
we
went
don't
to a
Tiverton?
wedding in Tiverton.
Tiverton's beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Tiverton's kind of like forgotten about.
Yeah.
It's
'Cause
one of
there's
those-
like 4
there's a
little
couple of-
towns over there.
Okay,
that are
I'm just gonna like spitfire towns I've probably visited in Rhode Island. You can just tell me if they're like Rhode Island or
Yeah,
not.
so far you're
Okay.
0 for 2.
Is that cool? Okay. All right. So Newport, we're saying not Rhode
Nope,
Island.
Not Rhode Island. No.
Okay. Tiverton,
0 for 2.
I don't know. I think Tiverton's Rhode Island.
Keep going. You're there. So 0 for 2.
Bristol.
Okay.
Oh yeah,
There you
best
go.
town in Rhode Island.
Okay, I've been there.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Providence.
Providence, yeah.
That's
the
our-
hardest
that's the
part
capital.
about
Providence gives
Bristol-
me anxiety. I don't know why.
Welcome to Rhode Island.
I visited
As a
Providence
whole.
College.
Yeah.
Like I actually got a dope scholarship from Providence College.
Oh, okay.
And I was an idiot and didn't go there because
Wait, where did you go to school?
I actually went to Trinity College and then I went to
okay.
UConn.
Oh, okay.
So I did a little split skis 2
Gotcha.
and 2 years.
Huskies. Gotcha. All right.
Go Huskies.
Yeah.
Same as Nikki.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but my twin brother actually went to UConn as well. He was on the golf team there.
Oh, very
Yeah,
cool.
so
We
it
got
was
a
fun.
golfer here. This is our golf guy right here.
I'm a
He
big
likes to
golfer. I love golf.
She likes to golf too. What?
Go ahead.
What?
Sorry,
Why'd you
we
give me that
were
look?
going back to the. I was trying to think of more.
Yeah.
Towns you visited in Rhode
So
Island?
the thing about there's like a part Middletown. You're right. You're getting there. So the part about that small little area, it's like the it's off to the side. Like Bristol is probably the best, nicest, most popular area.
Yep.
But even then, it's almost like they like to be secluded.
Yeah.
Because they're out there.
We
in
call it
middle
the
of
East
nowhere.
Bay.
Yeah.
Can you tell me why Newport isn't Rhode Island?
Money.
Yeah.
Got it.
It's just the money is absurd. The
Yeah.
entire town's
Do
population
you think
is
it's people that
predicated.
moved there?
Yeah, I
from,
mean, they
like-
have Salve Regina, which
Yep.
is a good university, and it is a good school.
Yep.
And there are a ton of people who live in Newport, right? It's
Right.
not just the fact that it's the summer, but people who go to Newport are specifically going to go down to the docks there to
Yeah.
go and have food, which is overpriced
Yeah.
and not very good.
You're not a
and
big
the service is
Bowen's
not
Wharf fella?
No, give me a break. And on top of that, we live in Rhode Island. It costs us $8 to get over the bridge.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, of
Wow.
course you can get an easy pass, but yeah, let me go to get an
It's the
easy
worst.
pass to go on one friggin' road that I pay to pave. Anyways, some
We
of my
know what-
rants
we
are not
know
a
what
joke.
Ian-
I feel legit about
How
this stuff.
Ian feels about the roads.
Yeah, it's not that I don't like Newport, and it's not that it isn't a beautiful place to visit.
Yeah.
When you grow up ocean state like this, there's a lot of towns like that, which is why I always favor Bristol because the people are better. It's not as transient as Newport is. And honestly, I've never been, I don't know how else to say it besides stereotypical. I've never been like a hoity-toity, look at me, popped collar, sailor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that life,
No,
like
I
the
hear ya.
rich and famous, like
Yeah.
Like,
How
I don't know.
about Narragansett? Better than Newport.
Gansett. Well, you know,
But
that's
it's
that's
so
the thing. It
cheap.
depends on what you need and what you're kind of looking for.
Yeah.
Gansett
Yeah.
is beautiful, but where we grew up in Westerly, it's interchangeable with Narragansett. It's like
Yeah.
the same type of beach town.
Okay.
Gansett definitely has
I've
a
been to
lot.
Westerly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Westerly's.
I've also been to Gansett a lot.
Yeah.
Cranston.
Yep.
So
Okay.
I feel like
Cranston-
You have enough miles.
Providence.
Yeah, I think so.
Like Rhode Island is really like Providence, Cranston. Those are like our two
If
main
you can
hubs,
get
and
there
then
on
Warwick.
95 is what I think consists of Rhode Island.
yeah.
Providence, Warwick, and Cranston. Those are like the three Rhode Island, you know, and then there's Johnston and these other
Yeah.
towns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because see, like even
So have you
over-
had anything to eat here? Oh, sorry.
No, good.
What kind of food have you eaten
I
here?
have not explored the food scene here.
Okay.
No, okay, because that's really what we're known for.
I know. Like, can you give me some Rex?
Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of really
Hot
good
wieners.
places. Yeah, hot wieners always. You ever had a hot wiener?
All the way.
No.
Okay. Wiener God, please go ahead.
So Oneyville, New
Tell
York
me about
Systems.
that.
Oneyville, New York Systems. It's a small little spot. There's two of them, I think. The one in Cranston might not be there anymore. I'm not
no, it's
100%.
still there. It's still
Okay.
there.
Two spots, and they serve hot wieners.
Okay.
And what they do is they sleeve them up on your arm, on the arm of the guy chefing them up. Wiener on the bun, chili, onion, some kind of magical, delicious sauce. He shakes his little thing, and then as he's doing all that, the magic sauce is on his arm,
Yep.
soaks into the bun, and then you get three all the
Also
way.
known as sweat.
Okay. It sounds
Sweet.
Sweat.
good.
Yeah,
It's
How
delicious.
would we put that up against like a roast beef 3-way?
doesn't even
Comparable.
compete. Oh,
I would say it's like
I
the
don't
same.
like
It's like the
roast
same
beef.
thing. Yeah, I mean, if
Because
you don't like roast
both
beef, but
would require me to take Tums and lactose.
we were joking about that in Austin because we were having barbecue, and you brought like a bunch of Tums, and I was like, "Yeah, give me some of those."
Literally, I sleep.
He
with
ate
the
3
Tums.
extra
If
strength. I was like,
Tums-
you might.
If Tums sees this clip at Tums,
Yeah,
At Tums.
I sleep with Tums next to me every single night.
got to do it.
And the people are like, "You're not supposed to take Tums every night." I'm like,
Are you Irish? What's your
Yeah.
background?
I'm Irish. I'm Polish.
Okay,
I can see the Polish.
Swedish.
and Swedish. That makes sense.
I think I got like a little like German Dutch situation going on. I have a lot of white.
Yeah. Very white.
Very white. I'm not Italian at all.
All right.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, like pretty Irish.
So here's the unique thing about Rhode Island and Boston. Federal Hill and North End are kind of the same thing.
Similar Italian vibe.
Used to
see,
be
I was
Rhode
gonna say-
Island. The Federal Hill has kind of taken quite a few
Yeah.
steps back as far as its food and restaurant scene. But
Yep.
in comparison, we had kind of like the same thing. Probably could argue is probably better even, especially because I like the North End,
Years
but it's
ago.
a little like
Years ago.
it's almost like too much.
Yeah.
There's a lot of options, and it's small, and they get you in and out of those bitches fast. They don't really
They
play
do.
because they got
They
tables to
do.
turn over.
The best was during the pandemic in the North End though, because they pretty much filled like all the roads were like patio, like sorry, I can't speak. The restaurants turned into like outdoor seating.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Walking around the North End, it felt a lot more like, it felt less congested on the roads, and there was a lot more going on like on the streets and people eating outside and stuff. I really miss that. I wish that we could have figured that out. But
Yeah.
that's a
bummer.
controversial topic.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I love Rhode Island. I would definitely rank it as like one of the top.
Oh. Well.
Not there yet.
Just gonna
Not yet.
do a little.
We will get
I
there.
love this question.
Should
I
we-
know what
Okay,
you're
so
gonna ask.
Mike's are modern
I've been
then.
thinking about it already. Modern.
Oh, how come?
It's just better.
Wow, Mike
Sorry.
pastries over modern. You got it.
So,
You heard it here
like-
I'm more
first.
of a Chipotle guy.
That's
No
not the
offense
same
to
thing.
Mike's, because like local family,
Right.
amazing cannolis and stuff, but like I do think it's a bit more touristy and like I don't know. I just think it's a little overrated.
Hey, listen, you like what you like.
I think the modern cannolis are a vibe, and then you go downstairs, a little hidden little late night vibe. Get a little cup of coffee, a little cappuccino, a little cannoli.
Ooh, so this is give us like what's like a good day in Boston? Like if you were gonna tell people like, hey, come take a tour of Boston, like
Wow.
where would you put them?
That's actually a really great question. So I would start with definitely like a brunch vibe.
Okay.
I always love like a nice view. So maybe somewhere in the seaport. If
Okay.
you're feeling that kind of vibe.
All right.
We're definitely gonna go to a sporting event. We're gonna go to either like, whoever's playing that
Yep.
day night. We're gonna go.
Don't matter.
We're going.
Oh yeah.
We're definitely hitting the North End for sure. For some just like good vibes, good community feel. It's definitely my favorite neighborhood in Boston for sure.
Okay.
Maybe run around, do a couple of pranks,
Some Hooyahs?
Ask for a couple Hooyahs,
Yeah.
see if I can get those. If I can't get them, that's fine with me. Used to not getting them so much, so that's fine. What else would I do? Gee.
Late night snack. Where we going?
Yeah, we hitting the duck boats. Are we going to Faneuil Hall? Like
I
taking
had
a tour of
to do
Fenway?
a duck boat tour for one of my internships that I had in Boston like years ago, and it was honestly such a fun experience because you learn things about the city that you just wouldn't have known. Like, fun fact, did you know that show The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody was filmed at the Copley Fairmount Hotel?
I do now.
Yeah.
no.
That's
They
awesome.
lived in the friggin' hotel that was literally the Copley in Copley Square.
Is that what it was based on, or they actually filmed
No,
there?
I'm pretty sure they filmed it there.
No crap.
Yeah.
That's
Isn't that
actually
cool?
really cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So like you learn kind of like fun facts,
Solid show.
tidbits, things like that.
was a great show.
Plus,
The Pringle.
that big moment where you go from like just riding along the path to like quack quack. We're going on into the river.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Is
It's
it?
kind of cool.
Yeah, should we be in that river? I don't know.
Yeah, we shouldn't. Oh, I have jumping into that river before.
Oh my
We were
god!
looking for the
Yes.
Hooyahs, and you didn't. Did you find any?
No, I wasn't finding any, so I was like, I'm just gonna go.
Jump in.
And I just jumped in. No. Yeah, it was like kind of like a dare, but it was one of those dares. I was like, dare me. And I was like, I'll do it. I just like did it.
Sounds like something.
I don't even think it was recorded. It was like probably back in like 2016. But yeah, no, let's see what else. I'm going all over the place, but you're definitely going to want to do something sports related. Definitely going to want to hit the North End. Fenway's always a good time. there's just like so much going on. It's hard
Right.
to put into one day.
Gotcha.
But I love the walk from the North End to the seaport, going through like Christopher Columbus Park. And it's just like really vibey. I used to rollerblade actually to work like every day from the North End to
Wow, what can't
my
you do?
office was in Fort Point, and I would rollerblade all the way there.
That's dope.
It was fun.
So then let me ask you this. What's your favorite neighborhood and what is your least favorite neighborhood of the city?
Favorite would be North End.
North End, okay.
Least favorite?
Southie?
Probably.
Oh, hot take. Hot take right there.
No, it wouldn't be my least favorite.
Oh, damn.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Honestly, I don't know how to say this without, like, probably like Theater District
Oh, okay.
area.
Yeah.
Like downtown, like financial district. Like
Not
there's-
much going on there, so you're just kind of like,
It's a little dead.
Bah.
Like if you ever walk around the financial district during the day, it's like total snooze fest.
right.
Boring.
You're not going to find
Boring.
6'5" blue
More
eyes.
like Borophyll. Yeah, I just think there's so much going on. More going on. I don't love like the vanilla ice cream factory that is Southie, but there is a lot of like good restaurants and good nightlife options.
What was it? It's a...
Just, you know, it's
Vanilla factory of boringness.
Well, no, it's like I think nowadays when you walk around Southie, it's just like a lot of aloe sets and hot girl walks and pumpkin spice lattes. And
People tell me all the time I have a hot girl walk.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. I
So if you
like
catch me out there-
communities with a bit more like diversity culture. Not to say Southie doesn't have culture. Like old school Southie was like the way, the
Right.
place. But I think that it's gotten so gentrified as like, you know.
Right.
But there's still a fuck ton of like locals living in Southie holding it down and like owning a lot of the buildings
Yeah.
that these like people are living in. Anyway. But yeah, I would love to answer your Ben and Jerry's question.
If you had to pick a favorite flavor of Ben & Jerry's, what are you picking?
Ooh.
Half baked
Ooh.
Wow.
or fish food.
Oh.
Ideally a combination of both.
Ooh.
Wow.
Talk
But I
dirty to me.
have to can I tell you the worst part?
Go ahead.
But it's kind of the best part because it tastes the same. I have to go non-dairy route because my tummy gets upset.
Yeah.
My tummy hurts when I eat ice cream. So
Gotcha.
Yeah,
yeah, that's
Didn't
the
know that.
millennial in
you
me. My
gotta
tummy
prep
always
it.
hurts.
You gotta prep for it. Take like a, what do they call those, lactose pills or whatever?
Lactate.
Yeah.
I actually travel with Lactate. I have it with me right now. Just in case things get
Perfect.
Keep that
'cause
I keep that lactate
get
on
the
me.
Ben & Jerry's vent. No, I'm
no,
just kidding.
but for those of you with tummy problems,
Yeah.
I bury a non-dairy Ben and Jerry's Sunday like almost every single night.
Say that 5 times fast.
I bury non-dairy Ben and Jerry every night. I bury non-dairy Ben and Jerry every night. I bury non-dairy Ben and Jerry every night. Ben and Jerry every night. I'll throw M&Ms in there if I want.
Get it,
I'll
Vin.
throw
Yeah.
peanut butter in there
Yeah.
if I want.
Yeah.
I'll put hot
Yeah.
fudge in there all the time too. Cause every time
This is
I
going to be the new
have
Ben and
the
Jerry
blues.
jingle right here. I love this.
What are you going with?
Me?
Hostess with the mostest?
So I rotate, but they so I've always liked their s'mores one, but they just dropped a peanut butter s'mores, and it is absolute gasoline.
You
But
ever put it between like 2 warm cookies?
oh my god, I'm so hungry right now.
Me too.
But the main thing that I've been on a kick on is the mint chocolate chip.
Ooh, do you get the triple
see,
chocolate Oreo
Mint
one?
cookie, mint
cookie.
mint cookie. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Not mint chocolate
It has
chip.
Oreo cookies.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's insane.
It's so good.
It's insane.
I love.
Had a whole pint
mint-
last night.
I love mint chocolate chip ice cream so much. I go through phases where like it's basically exclusively what I'll eat.
Right.
But then half baked is like tried and true for me. But I do get sick of it.
See,
sometimes.
strawberry cheesecake has always been my go-to at Ben and Jerry's, the strawberry cheesecake one, and then I branched out to the mint cookie.
Have you tried the cherry Garcia?
I have. I don't
Not
like
as
it as
big of a
much.
fan, yeah.
I think it's because I don't really like the cold cherries.
I hear you.
It hurts my teeth. It hurts my po little teeth. What's your go-to Dunkin' order?
Oh, dude. It would be a medium iced macchiato
Ooh.
with oat milk
Oh.
and 2 pumps of blueberry. It tastes like a.
Let's go. I
It tastes
like
like
that.
a little blueberry oatmeal pie.
Look at
Like
you.
that.
Oh, she's having
I
herself
eat
a little blueberry
oatmeal
oatmeal.
every morning.
I usually have to like shake it up myself.
Yep, we've
too.
seen those. So we know what kind of ice cream you like.
Yeah.
Tell us, we got to have these 2 questions. So here comes number 1. Rank your New England sports in order. What's your favorite, top to bottom?
Okay. Bruins. Oh, fuck. I can't. It's so hard. How would I do that? 3-way
do
tie? Okay. I'm going to go Patriots, Bruins, Celtics, even though I really wish I could put the Bruins and the Celtics together on the same. It's stressing me out so much having to rank these. I love them so much. But
It
Red
gets
Sox
tough.
would be last. I love the Red Sox, but it's only because I don't enjoy watching I was say football. I don't enjoy watching baseball as much.
Gotcha.
My favorite sport to watch is the Bruins, hockey. I love the energy, the fighting, just like the Bruins
Hockey boys.
fans. Like I just absolutely.
There's nothing like physically
love-
being at a hockey game.
There's
It's
literally
so much
nothing
fun.
like being at a Bruins game. Like that's
So much
probably
fun.
my top. But Celtics is such good energy too, and same with the Pats. Like I say Pats is up there because of like the history too. Like
Right.
we just have so much history and love for the team. But like
So you're going,
there's-
to me, it sounds like you're going Bruins, Pats,
Yeah.
Celtics,
Okay.
Sox.
And you know what?
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing.
and then
that's
like
fair.
no offense to the Revs, like we'll put them in there.
Yeah.
They'll have to be at the bottom.
And a growing team that we keep trying to give a shout out to is the New England Free Jack.
Yes, the Free Jacks.
Yep.
Yeah. All New England sports teams,
Yeah.
I'm going to ride or die for.
Love that.
We love
Okay,
that.
here comes our beloved question of
Yeah.
the evening.
This is a big one. And
There are.
I think I was thinking about this on the way here. 'Cause I
we
know
love
you're gonna
that.
ask.
That's good.
Oh, you know what? I lied. There's 2 questions to this. So let's ask the first one. The first one is
Oh, that's right.
you're well traveled. You've been around.
Oh, thanks, Ian.
What state are you going to add to New England? Which includes the people, the traffic, the weather. It includes everything. Now, I preface it as state, but it can also be a country or a city from another country.
No way.
Something like that. So if you want to bring Ireland over or
You
the
can do a
Netherlands,
region, too.
Norway,
Wow. okay.
Australia.
Yeah, we've had Vegas and Kate on our last episode said Los Angeles. So
Okay,
Yeah.
now that
They
you
kind of
said
got
I
it wrong
can
though,
go
because I said the state.
outside-
They kept
Okay.
saying they said city, but I need the whole area.
I'm gonna give you a state, but then I'm also gonna give you a state, a region of a state, and a city. That would be
yeah.
my number.
Okay, so
So
now
sorry, I had to give
this
you a
is great.
couple.
Go for it.
So top number 1 would be Florence, Italy.
Ooh, okay. Never been.
Best
Vin's going
city
for
in
his
the
honeymoon here
entire
in
world.
December, so he'll be able to let us know.
I'm gonna send you some recommendations.
Oh, definitely.
I did a
Please
little
do.
study abroad thing there for a couple months. Fun fact, came back 40 pounds heavier.
No way.
Dead ass, yeah.
I don't know what's more impressive,
makes
the 40
sense. I
pounds or
just
learning
know,
that you
like,
studied abroad.
that from
Truly
Italy
the
myself.
fact that I was able to gain 40 pounds in 4 months, like that's some like heavyweight training shit. Like I was packing the pasta. It was so cool. Best food ever, so that's why I would bring it to New England. And just so much history, so much beauty, and like just great people and awesome shopping. Just 10 out of 10 city.
Love that.
I want to go back for my honeymoon when I get married eventually.
Oh,
too.
nice.
So you'll have to let me know the honeymoon spots. I'll hook you up with the best panini spots.
He just ooh.
So I would say state would be Florida.
Join the club. That's what I
More
always say.
specifically, South Florida.
Yep.
So like maybe like Palm Beach and down.
Gotcha.
Ooh,
Okay.
okay, that's fair.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
That's fair.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I will say
I
because
love
it's definitely
Florida.
a big enough state where South Florida and North Florida
They're
are
very different.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, they're
100%.
They're very different. Gators. There's Gator country.
for real.
And no shade to the Everglades and all that. That's like more middle, right?
Yeah, somewhere it's down
West
there.
Coast, yeah.
South.
I don't. So yeah, I love South Florida. My twin brother lives down there also. So
Oh, cool.
It's fun to visit him. He's a golfer, so play golf with him down there. And
Nice.
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I would say South Florida.
Okay.
That's fair.
I think they would fit in well here too because
Well,
like
South Florida is literally
it's pretty much just
the
people who
retirement
moved
community of
from
New England. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
pretty much.
hey,
just
besides
people
Miami.
from-
Miami is South American,
Yes,
but
true.
it's like mini South
Miami's
America over there. But.
very-
True. True.
Okay, so then
Miami gives me so much. Oh my goodness. It's so fun, but like, holy shit. I think I could only last like 2 nights there. I was on a bachelorette trip in Miami, and by day 4, I was like, not well.
that's right. Did you go to 11?
I think so.
That's usually, that means you went. Usually when you say I think so, it means you had a good enough time and you
Yeah,
forgot.
yeah.
All right, so our final question is, could you please rank
Good Lord.
in order your favorite New England states?
Yes. This is the question I was thinking about a lot on the way here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So number 1 would be Massachusetts. Number 2 would be Maine.
Ooh, okay.
Number 3 would be Rhode Island.
Wow.
Number 4 would be New Hampshire. Number 5 would be probably.
Oh my god.
I don't want to do it.
There's no way
but
this is
I'll
about to happen
have
right now.
to- I'll have to put Connecticut.
Oh
Before
man,
Vermont.
party
Ooh,
foul.
I know.
Party foul.
Listen, Connecticut sucks. Nobody in Connecticut likes Connecticut, but there is some beauty there, and
For
I
sure.
gotta support my Huskies.
There you go.
Yeah.
And my
Huskies
CT
and
roots.
pizza, man.
So yeah, so that's probably
So
how
wait,
I go.
what
Although
that-
I do
Vermont is number 6 then?
Yeah, Vermont number 6.
That's what you get.
That's kind of crazy actually that I put it 6th because
No.
Vermont is so beautiful and I love like to ski up there and stuff. Like I love all the New England states so it'd be impossible to put one
It's like
last.
a
but
5-way tie.
I feel like when you're
Yeah.
from Massachusetts though, like when you're like living in the city and stuff like that, it's hard to get because Vermont is like you got to be a real sticks person to like Vermont.
Yeah.
like to truly
there's,
enjoy
like,
Vermont, you have to be
it's a
someone who can
long
handle the drive, the total disconnect, the complete
Yeah.
absorption
it's
of the
very
wilderness and
quiet.
stuff. So
I think the reason I put Vermont last is because like if you're in like the heart of Vermont, like I used to one of my boyfriends in college was from Vermont, so I spent a ton of time in like Castleton area.
Okay.
And he and like I don't know, the part of Vermont's that I've seen and experienced, like Rutland, it's like really remote and like
Right.
there's like not a lot of restaurants, nothing to do.
Right, exactly.
Once it's winter, it's like you're just snowed in and kind of fucked.
Right.
Like unless you ski a ton, I'd put Connecticut ahead of Vermont just because of its proximity to the other places.
100%. No, I think it makes
New York
sense.
and Boston. Yeah.
It makes
fair.
sense.
Yeah.
It makes
Fair.
sense.
It's a good list. It's a great
All right,
list.
Maggie, where can everybody find you and what do you have coming up so people know what to be on the lookout for?
Thank you so much. Oh my god, I just burped. That was gross. So they can find me on socials, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Threads at Everyday Maggie. I think my YouTube is Everyday Maggie Boston because
Okay.
Everyday Maggie was taken.
Can
Gotcha.
confirm.
Thank you. And then in terms of upcoming stuff, man, just be on the lookout hopefully for a snowstorm. I will be reporting live.
I thought we might have been due for one this Thanksgiving, I
know.
heard, but it seems like it kind of...
I think Western Mass might get a little snow this weekend. We'll have to fact check ourselves when this airs and see if it happened. But yeah, definitely weather. Definitely going to be hitting a lot of sporting events hopefully this winter. So we'll be bringing people along for that ride. I think I might do a 12 days of business kind of thing around
Oh,
the holidays
cool.
where I'm going to feature some different like local restaurants and businesses.
Oh, I love that.
around
That's awesome.
the New England, Boston, Massachusetts, etc. region. So maybe keep an eye out for that. And I will also be emceeing for a fundraiser coming up on December 19th for the Little Sparks Foundation, which is a nonprofit that some of my friends are working for. That is like its intention is to help families who can't afford medical care for their kids who might be going through a rare unexpected illness, birth defect, those kind of things that you're just like totally strapped not expecting all these hospital bills and things like that. So they're doing a ton of good. And I'll be helping out by emceeing the live auction at that gala.
Good for you.
Oh, that's so
So
great.
I'll be
Cool.
excited to help out with that.
And you have some new content that you're going to start presenting in 2025 to branch out. So people should be on the lookout for
I
that.
would love your help brainstorming, Ian.
Well, we will brainstorm. Maggie, thank you so much for making the trek down, hanging out with me, RJ, and Vin, and
This was so much fun.
letting the viewers kind of get to know you a little bit more outside of just the content, and also giving so much fun advice and telling good stories and
This was
your
literally so
perspective
much
here
fun.
on New England. We really appreciate it.
It was worth every
2.5
that I
hours.
was
Yeah.
flipped on the way here.
All 2 hours and 45 minutes it took.
Yeah, no, but that's okay. I do know what you have to deal with now. Although Gillette's like fucking really close to
Oh, yeah,
here.
Gillette is easy for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gillette. I love when I get to work at Gillette.
Gillette's what? 35 minutes from you without traffic?
Without traffic, yeah.
Yeah, I was
without traffic.
shook
Usually
at
takes me
how
about
close.
45 minutes,
So
as
how
long as I'm
close
there
is
early.
Westerly to here?
About 40
35,
minutes.
40 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah.
so your ride home is going to be like, is that where you live now?
No, I live in Warwick now. I live
Oh,
about
okay.
20 minutes away.
Okay, perfect,
Yeah,
perfect,
20 minutes. I
okay,
live by the TF Green Airport.
Okay,
Warwick.
nice. Do you fly out of that airport when you go places? Or
Not really,
Providence?
because it
They don't have a lot of
sucks.
flights.
Yeah, they have a lot of flights,
They do.
but they are all, you have to take a layover for all of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Not a lot of
I'm
direct
going I'm going to
flights.
Miami this weekend, and I have like a fucking
Are you
hour
gonna
and
go
20
from
minutes.
Providence?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because it was one of those things where I needed to fly into Miami.
Yeah.
So I had to take the layover.
Wait, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, always.
And we can like, if we need to cut this, we can. But quick question.
Yes.
I know that you aren't a huge fan of our lovely friend Connecticut,
Yes.
but how do you feel about New York?
What's that?
Is he gonna go? He's gonna go. He's gonna walk out.
Well, I haven't closed out the pod yet, but first time for
Bye.
everything.
That's a good clip.
Hate New York City.
Yeah, New York blows.
I
Smells
can't.
like
I
ass
hate it.
cheeks.
I can't deal with this. It's too chaotic.
No, honestly, when
Yeah,
I was
smells
growing
so
up, like going up to FAO Schwartz and going to the
that was
giant
cool.
Toy Story, the giant Toys R Us, and WWE or WWF at the time had like a giant restaurant in Times Square where they had like wrestlers that would come
None
in.
of that stuff exists anymore.
It was like
FAO
it was a
Schwartz, is
cool.
that still a
No,
thing?
they closed.
No.
It was like
So sad.
the coolest thing in the world when you're a kid to go to Times Square and there was
Totally.
TRL Live. We went there
Oh,
early
yeah.
and you went to go see the morning show. There was
The
like
Disney
a whole vibe,
store.
Rockefeller. Like it was awesome.
Yeah.
NBA store was like I thought I was gonna die. I was so happy
Yeah.
the first time, but like now,
Times Square has changed a lot. Now it's like it's like a lot of protests and just so touristy.
yeah,
It's
and it
crazy.
literally New York smells so bad.
It's so bad.
It smells so bad.
and it's so chaotic. Like just being in the back
It's
of a
anxious.
taxi.
It makes you anxious to be there.
It does. It really does. Every time I come back to Boston from visiting my friends in New York, I'm like, I want to like literally kiss the ground.
Yeah. Well,
like-
I don't know if I advise that in Boston still, even though it's cleaner than New York, but.
You're talking to someone who jumped in the Charles River willingly. And on God.
All right, folks, that is going to complete episode 25 of the So New England podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in or watching, listening, however you choose to enjoy. And remember, folks, life's better in New England.